News. We've got a clip that we want to play for you before we go off the air today. You're still welcome to call in. We're in the last segment of the second hour, and you're joined on the Real News with Farron and Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
Bernanke threatens economic collapse if Federal Reserve is audited. This is from InfoWars by Aaron Dykes. Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke unleashed an alarming veiled threat of financial terrorism when he was quoted by Representative Duncan on Thursday about his response to the fact that a majority of Congress co-sponsoring Ron Paul's H.R. 1207 bill to audit the Federal Reserve. Bernanke clearly regarded the bill's intent as hostile to the institution he represents, and we're going to go ahead and play a audio clip of this now.
The Congress Daily says this morning that Fed officials purposely declined to consult with other federal financial regulators, and one email expressed concern that an SEC employee, quote, knows something is up. The Wall Street Journal reported that you and Mr. Paulson attended 2 weekly meetings of the Financial Stability Oversight Board and refused or declined to disclose the seriousness of the problems that were being faced by the Bank of America and Merrill Lynch at that time. What would you say to the majority of this Congress who has now co-sponsored the bill to require audits of the Federal Reserve? Do you feel that the Federal Reserve is operating with too much secrecy and too much refusal to disclose information that you have to other federal banking regulators?
The Federal Reserve has made enormous strides in the last year under my chairmanship to expand the information that we release. We release monthly information on all the various programs that we have. We've developed a website and a monthly report that involves all kinds of information. We think we are quite transparent. We are happy to work with Congress if they have further concerns about any of our programs. We're more than happy to work with you to make sure that you're comfortable that they are well managed and are serving a public purpose.
Do you think it would cause problems for the Fed or for the economy if that legislation was to pass?
My concern about the legislation is that if the GAO is auditing not only the operational aspects of our programs and the details of the programs, but is making judgments about our policy decisions, that would effectively be a takeover of monetary policy by the Congress, a repudiation of the independence of the Federal Reserve, which would be highly destructive to the stability of the financial system, the dollar, and our national economic situation.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen from Tennessee. Thank you very much. And now you'll find...
Okay, that was Criminal Ben Bernanke speaking to Congress about the upcoming Bill 1207 where they're wanting to audit the Fed. He has the audacity to say that would be a takeover by the Congress. Well, it sure couldn't be any worse than the takeover of the Federal Reserve of our economy. He also says that would be a repudiation of their policy. It should be repudiated. They're a complete failure. They have sold out the American people. He says it might affect the stability of the dollar. The dollar's not stable. It's plummeted. It's only worth 3 cents of what it was since 1913 when these criminals hijacked our government. And he says it would affect the national ability of them to govern. Well, they've governed us into the black hole of the abyss of no return. So I would be happy to give our monetary policy over to just about anyone other than this group of elite banking family criminals.
I guess it's too much for us to ask, where the trillions that you and I and every citizen of the United States has paid for, what happened to that money, where it went? I guess we're arrogant to ask for that from the Federal Reserve.
How dare you ask where your money went? How dare you want to peek into our books and see how we've robbed and looted you? You peasants, you knaves, you serfs. Don't you know we're your God and we run this government? And we loot you at will when we want to. We make the economy go up, and then we implode it. We fleece you like a sheep. That's what we're seeing here, and the American people are just sitting back. Patriots need to wise up and rise up. We've got to get people involved in what's going on here in our country, unless we want to live the end of the movie 1984. Where are we at, Brian?
We've already lived the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, where are we at? Are we halfway yet? Are we toward the end? What? Oh, just unbelievable. But we've got We got just a few minutes left. If you'd like to call in, again, the numbers are 1-866-986-6397. We're trying not to live the end of George Orwell's 1984. You know, Virginia Fox even said, I heard her say, they are trying to take us into the movie 1984. That's where the Barack Obama administration is taking us. But this clip, featured video too, on our website, realnewsradio.com, if you'd like to check it out. Also, the video is there with played earlier. But Brian, July the 4th coming up. Give us some of your thoughts. A real patriot, a real revolutionary. What do they do? What does people need to do to get involved? And how can we affect some real change other than just talking trash about the government? And of course, which is the facts of the matter. We hate it's that way. But what does the people need to do to affect some real change?
Well, first, many people have the misconception that to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States only resides with people that have taken that oath, such as the police or military. In my opinion, it resides with every citizen of the United States. We are gatekeepers, guardians of our liberty, which our founders fought and died for. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands, of our founders died for our liberty right now, and they would be disgusted at the state of our liberties here in the United States in 2009. So every citizen is obligated to stand up and defend not only their rights and their families, but everyone's in the United States. It's to everyone's advantage, and unfortunately, many Americans have failed at this.
Oh, I agree with you. The old saying, when the government fears the people, you have freedom. When the people fear the government, you have tyranny. And with the genetically modified foods, Cap and Gang Act, hate crime bill, Patriot Act, Military Commission Act, the people have good reason to fear the government. They've came after our guns with every kind of end round at the Second Amendment, to banning ammunition, to banning guns, gun-free zones, gun-free cities. The American people, and this hate crimes bill where they're legitimizing and justifying every kind of homosexual and pedophiles and everything disgusting. It's just amazing. They're going to have it to where preachers can't preach against anything in churches, even though a lot of them don't start with. But it's just amazing.